Namaskar, and forever and eternally, Shiva Asti. I have been saying this greeting to all of you, those of you who are not associated with me for long or don't know the backgrounds or are here for the first time with me, those who have not known me till this workshop. You've heard me say this Shiva Asti and must have wondered what kind of a greeting is it? Is it part of a sect, part of a cult, part of a belief system? So I keep saying it and I have people saying it back to me, just thinking that it's some kind of a namaste or a pranam, which it is, definitely. But Shiva Asti is a naman, a salutation I render to all those I meet, all those I share my journey with for however long or short a time period. It is the namaste or the namaskara I offer to the beautiful souls, to the bright beings of light and love and healing and teaching I interact with every day, like you, yourselves. So when we are on a spiritual journey, when we are traveling along the spiritual path, as people like to say, you're into spirituality. I think everybody is, isn't it? Everybody who is breathing is spiritual, whether they call themselves Gnostics or believers or whatever tags. If you're alive, you're a believer in something, even if it is yourself. So anyway, so what is tagged as the spiritual path, we come upon a lot of margas or ways or energies as we evolve and as we travel along our spiritual path. And we are usually born into the spiritual path in the form of bhakti, in the form of unconditional love, for there must be love, there must be that first gush, that first crush to want to delve into a relationship, right? In the end of the day, what is our spiritual path? What is our seeking? It is our relationship with that which we perceive as our whole truth, perceive as our higher truth, perceive as our goal or our destination. So many ways to look at the spiritual path. So when we embark upon it, all of us have come across a lot of terminologies that kind of try and sum up, my hair is doing funny things to me, so that try and sum up our relationship with that of which we think or we know or we believe we are of and we shall dissolve unto. So you've heard of terms like Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. So when I was delving into these, I went through this phase of bhakti, and then you go through jnana, where you're reading a lot and you're studying a lot, and a little bit of ego comes in, of jnana, where you think you know so much that you don't need to go into the rituals or the energy work or what you consider in that ego of knowledge or knowing as being very mundane, very lower level activities of belief or spirituality. And then you come to a balance where the twain do meet, where your bhakti and your jnana merge and they become one balanced understanding or knowing that accepts all vibrations, that accepts bhakti, that accepts jnana, that accepts ajnana, that accepts nastikta. So somewhere along the path, I too heard the terms and I surrendered to the terms of Tattvamasi, that thou art, that you are an image, you are of and from and a reflection of that divine image of the Supreme Consciousness. Then there is Aham Brahmasmi, that I am God Himself, because I am an image, I am a reflection. So I am capable of that which is God-like, and I too can attain Godhood. Somewhere borderline hell that we discussed earlier this evening. So then you come to Shivoham, which is similar to Aham Brahmasmi, which is Shivoham is I am Shiva, I am that, I am the Godhood. When I thought about these years later, a few years ago, I said even in this, there is separation. When I say I am that, I am still separating the I from that. There is an external entity that I am. Tat Tvamasi, I am that. Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. I am the same as the God element. There too, there is separation. There is the God and there is the me, and I'm saying, I am you. I am a reflection of you. I am like you. There is still separation. Shivoham. I used to always say Shivoham, and Shivoham did the same to me. Said, I am Shiva. So Shiva is still separate from the I am. There exists an I and there exists a Shiva or Shakti. And that's when one day in my meditation, in my conversations with Shiva, I stumbled upon what gives me complete stillness, and I offer it to everyone I meet, everyone I interact with. Shiva Asti, Shiva is. That source is. And that is all there is to know and accept, isn't it? If Shiva, if Source, if the cosmic para Adi is, takes care of everything, right? So, here we are, delving and soaring rather, in the same spontaneity. See, we're constantly marrying, we're constantly bridging, we're constantly threading polarities in all pranic work, in all prana work, in all consciousness work. We're constantly wedding the polarities, earth and sky, fire and water, energies from the ends of the body and ends of breath, energies from the depth of consciousness to the resonance and the fire of the conscious. So today we delve or dive and soar into that which dissolves all separation, where all duality, all polarities just melt quietly away. We have arrived unto the arriving of the Sahasrāra, the crown, and the Brahmmarandra, that is the chakra system outside our body. And from where we left off yesterday, the Vishuddhi and the Ājna, the clarity and the containment of truth, we have been born into the capacity now to expand without any frills and fancies, without any fuss, without much ado, into that non-polarity, into that non-labeled, non-tangible, yet very pulsating plane or realm of the self. Today there is no music playing. Today there is no fancy backdrop, no pictures on the wall. Today I don't have my bowls or my drums. Today it's just the self as we prepare to soar out after delving into the depths of that final layer, that final frontier from where the prana has been pouring into our system. We have experienced that, the pouring of the prana, and from where we have expressed it to. So, arriving into a comfortable seating. Today it is necessary to be sitting upright, so do so please, with your legs crossed if you can. If you can't, if you're uncomfortable, it is okay to sit with your feet on the ground, upon a chair or a sofa. Today, as the calendar turns, in the minds of people, the decade is ending and a new one is beginning. So we too surrender to that energy, that collective energy that is bringing in the shift with the sunrise on January 1st. We are going by the paradigm of the shift actually coming into effect on the 15th of January based on the arrangement of the cosmic, based on the arrangement of the stars and the sun, based on the energy of the constellations. But there's a whole collective, much bigger than a few of us. Not just us, but there'll be millions and millions around the world who are aware of this almanacal change or the solar change. But we are still a small number compared to the millions who know in their heart, who know in their soul, and who shall welcome the shift as the sun rises tomorrow morning. So we surrender to that shift heralding in tomorrow. Tomorrow the earth awakens. Tomorrow her tattva is awakened, because the whole collective is ready to receive. Where I am, there are a lot of snakes, there are a lot of nagas on this land. There's a lot of forested and mango groves and bamboo thicket land around this home, our Alibag place. And I actually went looking for the nagas because a few of them apparently have started showing up, like they haven't shown up in the last few years. And our colleague, our team member who manages the properties here, who was here, he told us that Itne Salo mein, in these years I haven't seen so many snakes as they have been rising in the last few months. There are so many coming up and showing up. And he described this old cobra who has apparently hair, which is a sign of age and believed to be celestial nagas. And I was, of course, immediately wanted to go on a drive and said, show me, I want to meet them. But because I was so enthused, obviously they were hiding, they're shy and they are playful. But the nagas are waking. The subterranean lives are waking. The energies of the earth are waking. So do expect seismic activity. Do expect volcanic activity. Do expect shifts of planes, plates of the earth moving, crashing into each other, shifting in levels. Do expect natural upheavals starting with this new age. The earth is adjusting, the earth is shifting and sifting, because a lot has been born upon her, a lot has been imposed upon her. We've drilled through her wherever we pleased. We have plonked cubes and cubes and cubes and mountains of concrete. We have taken away her soul and heart from places and replaced it with nishprana weight, nishprana baggage of our civilized ways. And she is going to be shifting, she is going to be waking. So we have to be with her, we have to be healing her, because when a mother is kind of moving and shifting and adjusting to settle her own pain And in the bargain, if a child that she's carrying, that is all of us, our whole humanity, if that child falls from her arms, or if that child is hurt in the bargain, nobody hurts more than the mother. So our planet, our sacred earth, as she shifts, as she adjusts and readjusts and resets and cleanses, she is going to be hurting, and we are with her to hold her hand through it all. And she's waking up in a way, waking up in a rhythm where anybody who reaches out and understands and hears her, hears wild earth, hears raw nature, hears the sound and the call and the need of her beings, her wild being, her urban beings, animals, birds, trees, water bodies. She's going to be taking them all into her bosom, holding them close, because she knows this is my tribe. These are my children who understand. They are all, everybody is her child. She doesn't forsake anyone easily. But there are some children who understand the parents, those who are there in the old age, and there are some who put them away in old age homes or don't really look after or abandon their parents. She is mother to all, but we choose in consciousness, we choose to be the children who stay by her as she shifts, as she readjusts, as she resets her original innate setting. So coming into seating, coming into comfort, coming into an ease that we have acquired naturally. It's just 6 days, and just look at how easily the ease flows now. It's just 6 days of not even very deep or silent or internal self-practice probably. It's practice with my voice droning in your heads. It's practice with a screen in front of you. It's practice of new processes. But just 6 days of practice, and see just how easily the ease sits into your breath, into your body, into your being and consciousness now. Try waking up tomorrow early and doing some kind of practice with breath, body, being and consciousness, whether it's yoga, whether it's a walk in nature, whether it's a sadhana or meditation, whether it's a pranayama, a kriya. Try waking up with the sun tomorrow. I know it's going to be a late night, but try waking up. I will be up at around 6:30, so if you are, we will be connected in breath, we will be connected in consciousness, we will be connected with that new heartbeat of the earth. So let's begin today's practice. Arriving into the seating, arriving into an ease of presence, arriving into your breath and body, just give in to the love, to the waiting arms of the Mother Earth. Give in and give up all that you've carried thus far, all that felt tangled or heavy. Just surrender it to Mother Earth. Breathing in, inhale, awareness of the physical breath. And we know the flow by now, as of just breathing gently, inhale, all the way into the bosom of the earth, pausing and exhale all the way up and through the system of the body, body and out through the nostril. Don't worry about which nostril. You will be in Sushumna very soon, very quickly today. You will be in a central breath. Inhale and allow the eyes to close upon themselves. Closing the veil upon a decade of all that was. Inhale, and in the ease of breath, we shall do an Ucharana of Om. You may bring your hands in a Namaskara at the heart. The Ucharana of Om with every exhale. Inhale deep, in the pause, collect the energies, and we shall do the Ucharana of Om with the Ma sound. Allow the hands to return upon the laps, the palms open upward, and continue to be in the awareness of the physical breath, inhaling into the earth, turning and exhale. The resonance of the vibrations of Om still dancing in that awareness of breath, just being in the breath. And in the next cycle of breath, becoming conscious of the pranic breath pouring in from the top of the crown and moving vertically, inhaled or pouring in through the front of the body into the earth, pouring from the Akasha unto the earth, with me as a conduit or a conductor. I am the thread, I am that beautiful being. My body is that sacred vessel that bridges the polarities of the Akasha and the Prithvi, and all the elements and beings between reside within these polarities. Continuing the awareness of the physical breath, expanding into the awareness of the pranic breath. So our breath moves in a concentric loop of inhaled physical breath, . Turning and exhaled, moving into a larger loop of the pranic breath, pouring in onto the earth, turning and moving up the back, the lower back, the mid back, between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, the back of the head, and out through the crown. So we will be in an alternatingly looped awareness of physical breath, expanding into the cosmic or pranic or subtle breath. Inhale into the earth. Exhale, moving up and out through the nostril, and inhaling from the top of the crown, vertically down the brow, the back of the neck, the heart, expanding at the heart always, down the torso, the legs into the earth, turning to move up the back of the legs, the back, the mid-back, the upper back, the back of my neck, the head, and out through the crown. We are dissolving the separations of physical breath and subtle breath as we thread these polarities of surrendering into the earth with the inhale, both physical and pranic, and extending our Akashaward or skyward or etherward in the exhale, both in the physical and the subtle pranic breath. As we alternately inhale into the earth, surrender, turning and exhale towards the Akasha. Inhale the pouring of pranic breath down the front of the body into the earth. Turning within the womb of the earth and back out through the back, through the spinal non-space, snaking upward and out through the crown into the etheric Akasha. So your cyclic dharanas are of inhaling unto the surface of the earth, exhaling from there and exhaling out into the skies that we are used to seeing. And then the pranic breath pouring in, inhaled into the garbha, into the core of the earth, turning to move out from the back of the body vertically up, snaking upward unto the etheric or the energetic infinite skies in the highest of consciousness realms. You may choose to continue the tonation of Om with every breath within. Just be in this breath for a while, just be in this cycle. It takes a while of physical inhale, pause and exhale. The breath by now is equal in both nostrils and nadis. Inhale, a pouring in of the pranic breath from above the crown, vertically, through the center, through the sushumna, balancing the left and the right, into the womb at the core of the earth, turning and moving up again towards the infinite akashas, the hoods of awareness rising and expressed unto the akasha. Using the shum and the po intonations to inhale and exhale in turns and loops. The dharana could be of infinity loops of physical breath, moving in the matrix of the infinity along the body system, and expanding to the infinity of the consciousness system outside and around the body. And as an ease of this Shvasa Swara and Prana Swara, the breath and the life breath, cycling unto themselves, roll and roll, wave after wave of ecstasy, euphoria, radiance and magnificence builds with every engaged and present physical breath, expanding into the consciousness breath, dissolving into the physical breath, expanding into the cosmic breath. Bathed in the waves of bliss, bathed in the waves of expansion and opening up and ease and relaxation that fills every cell. Orbs of light begin to dance within the head spaces, behind the eyes. Everything above the brow and the crown start lighting up as this ease of breath. Ease of breath. Ease of breath. Ease of breath. Dissolving and expanding. Dissolving and expanding. All separation melting away. all judgment falling away. There is only acceptance of Ananda and the mild throbbing that begins at the temples, the dance, the Tandava and Lasya as the Shambho, pulsations begin to open up. The highest realms of the physical blending into the first koshas or auric field and expanding. You will feel charge pouring in and out of the top of your head, and as deep and as soaring as you can go at both ends, as deep into the earth, turning to soar as deep unto the akashas, threading the polarities and melting the difference between the polarities. I exist in the akasha and in the prithvi in one spontaneity. As an ease is arrived at, an effortless flow and glow of Shambho dances within all awareness and non-awareness. You're almost in Yoga Nidra where you're aware of everything but not aware of even the self or the body or the breath. As this ease, this wave deepens and you become this flow of breath and prana, you are one wave, one frequency of this dance, this Tandava and Lasya, following your own breath, the guidance of your own consciousness and heart and soul. Allow the left hand to move gently, slowly, like the wings of a butterfly or a bird, and just place the center of your palm upon the top of your head, the crown of your head, with mild pressure, just placing the center of your palm. The eyes remain closed. The awareness of breath and life breath, Shvasa and Prana, Jeeva and Ātma, entwining in those waves. I am the Shvasa and I am the Prana. I am all polarities blending. The right hand turning it to be placed upon the earth that is closest to you, your floor, the sofa, whatever of the earth you are seated upon. If you are on a chair, just allow your palm to be facing downward now, grounding and earthing the energies, facing downward upon your lap, invoking the Prithvi Tattva of your body. The body is a Prithvi, is all of the planet. So physically we are bridging or blending the polarities and creating a circuit, a grid for this wave. The waves of Ananda and bliss to wash over. Uttishta Shambho Tava Suprabhatam. The rising or the waking of my Shambho or Shiva Sthiti, that eternal all source vibration, the waking of my Shambho, the Sthiti, or the state of all awareness, is the moment of dawning of consciousness. Uttishta Shambho Tava Suprabhatam. In this grounding and gridding the matrix of the polarities, arriving into an awareness of the breath and body, arriving into the awareness of the present time and space. You may allow the hands to return gracefully, softly to your lap, facing upward again. Take your time, because you will remain in this entwinement of Shwasa and Prana even after you are conscious in the present here and now. That's why we snapped out of it. This is not going away, at least for the next 11 hours. This will stay. You will be in a constant awareness of this pouring of prana, even in whatever activity you're doing. So we have stipulated a time where I'm doing this guidance for a while, but when you practice this on your own with the Shambho, Shambho, the Shwasa, the Jeeva, and the Prana, or the Ātma, blend, merge, become one non-polar existence. You become that non-polar existence. You will become rendered into just a vibration for a while. So take your time to return from this vibration and allow yourself to open your eyes, or allow the eyes to return to the gazing. And become aware of the weight of your body, become aware of how the breath is working slightly differently now, even in this awakened state, woken state. That was Freudian. Woken state. This is a very simple kriya. That is, we can combine this with an ujjayi, which we will be doing on the 15th. Combining this breath practice with an ujjayi breath. So it is an uttishta, rising energy. opening energy. Very simple wave of physical breath, expanding into wave of pranic breath, dissolving into a wave of physical breath, dissolving into a pranic breath. Very simple, but intense, not as simple as you think. It takes some time to fall into the rhythm, to alternate. Initially, if there's a little confusion in the mind, it's okay. Give it time to settle. Be patient with yourself. I take your leave today. I do not want to seed thoughts or put in too many elements right now. The note that follows this post will have the little itinerary for the 13th, 14th, 15th, and 15th we will regroup, where we will do an entire chakra bhedana, and I think it's time to go because somebody is trying to open the door, and that's a message that this is done, this is over. So have a wonderful flight, have a wonderful going into the next decade. And I'll see you now on the other side on the 15th of Jan. In between you will get your notes on the 5th, and of course feel free to message, DM, WhatsApp with anything that you were experiencing or you want clarity with practice. I'm here, right here. Shiva Asti. And remember, tomorrow morning, Uttishta Shambho Tava Suprabhatam. May the Shambho of source state, source sthiti, source vibration awaken as the dawning of consciousness as we move into 2020. With all the love and all the presence, all the gratitude that I feel right now for all of us. Signing off, and have a fun evening ahead. Love you all so much.